Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Rustic South. Today we're going to be doing, remaking some metal cans with some leftover brown, interesting paper that I had from, my husband had from somewhere. Must have been packing paper of some sort. And some paint and some reused lids from Brie cheese containers. And yeah, so let's get into the craft today. They're not really cute. They're on my craft table for organizing some of your little items. And there they are. They're so cute. So here we're going to have 3 cans, 3 lids, and there's the paper on the side there. I don't know where he got it. I apologize. I don't know where he can get it, where he got it from, or how we got it. But if you could find some napkins, uh, but what I would suggest, if you're going to paint them, this is the reason why I put paper on them, because I did not want to have to go and sand them, because you know paint has a tendency to flake off of metal, right? So that's kind of one reason why I put paper on them. So you see me before. If you're not new to the channel, I've used tissue paper before. I use several different kinds of things to cover cans or boxes with. So you could use anything that you have. And this happens to be something, again, I found a few weeks ago that he had. So we're going to cover these cans on the outside. And see that like wavy stuff in the middle? It gives it such a cool texture. I wish I could tell you guys how to find some of that. Maybe you could go on Amazon and find some of it. Maybe I'll look and see if I can find a link for that, for the paper. And so then here we're going to, these lids are a little bit bigger than the cans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of cardboard inside the lip of the lid to help the lids be a little more snug on the cans. So we're going to use a little piece of cardboard to go around the inside of the cans to make them snug. So yeah, so measure your little lip there, and then cut them out, glue them into the lid, and then we're going to end up painting the lids black, a solid black color. If you didn't want black, you could do cream, different color if you wish. I would tell you the measurement for this. I think it's about 1/4 of an inch. It's not very, very wide, the little part that I'm adding in to the lid. But you know, if you have the lids, then you could certainly measure them. I'm guessing they're all going to be about the same because they're just Brie cheese lids. But if you had other lids from other things that could work on this, you could certainly use those. So I'm just making as many as I can get out of this little piece of cardboard, because I do have 3 lids to do, but 3 of them don't exactly need total cardboard inside of them. One of the cans, it needed just a few places. So just make sure before you go gluing in your cardboard that you know if your lid needs, you know, a total tightening or just spots, right? Just pieces. So you don't have to go ripping it out and tearing up your lid. I did have to rip some of that out of one of them, but it did not tear up the lid. It did take off some of the inside, but it was okay. It didn't tear up the lid. It was fine. And for these lids, these Brie cheese lids, you're going to see in a minute, we're going to sand them so that the paint, of course, adheres to them better, because they do have kind of like a waxy slick coating on the outside. So you are going to need to use some sandpaper on them. Now the color that I painted my cans, I use, as you can see, Apple Barrels Black and True Navy to make a custom dark blue color, which I have used before on my channel as well. It is not, you know, anything that requires measuring, right? I just do mostly blue with a little black to come up with that dark blue navy color. And then another can, I painted the burnt umber. And the other can, I painted Waverly's moss green. I really liked the green one. It came out so pretty. The blue one was a little too dark for me, so one thing I did do, just as a heads up, I did use a little of the Waverly white wax on it to help tone it down a little. It was a little too dark. I started on a little too heavy with it, so I did go around it and put a little bit of the white wax on, just so you know. In the end, you'll probably see it kind of looks like denim fabric almost. And that's one thing you could do too, is you could do fabric on these, right? I was contemplating doing fabric on these instead of the tissue paper like I used. Fabric would look really cute if you had some coffee stained fabric, or if you're not into that grungy kind of look, you know, paint them cream or whatever color goes with your kitchen, or if you found some blue and white napkins maybe at one of the home decorating stores, or any napkins, maybe some fall napkins. So yeah, so just make sure that you sand the lids and get off some of that wax so that the paint adheres better. Now I did have to paint the lids, I would say 2 coats. Even though I sanded them, you still need to give them 2 coats just for good coverage, okay? Or you could, you know, back to the fabric again, for the cans, you could use homespun. I contemplated using homespun on the cans. You know, there's endless possibilities here. That sandpaper was giving my hands hand cramps. Okay, so make sure you give a good coverage on the lid for the black paint all the way around. I didn't paint the inside. I didn't see it was necessary to paint the inside. So yeah, if you look real well, it does dry really fast. So by the time I finished painting, you know, top and sides, the top was pretty much dry for another one. But I would be careful when you're repainting. Goodness, I'm sorry. When you're repainting that second layer, to not push too hard, not get it too wet, because it will have a tendency to pull off what you've already painted on. So here I'm getting out my letter stamps, and we're going to make some signs, some little signs to go on the cans. So I made mine. I just found a thing of buttons. Gosh, some buttons at Hobby Lobby yesterday. So I made one for buttons, because I really don't have anything cute for buttons right now. And then I also made one for like nuts, screws and nuts and bolts and nails and things like that. And then I also made one for cotton swabs. You know, like when you use cotton swabs to like clean. I cleaned the outside of the cans really well because I had some glue and junk from, you know, the labels that were on them. But, you know, if these cans are too big, you could always use other cans that are squattier but just as round. Like if you guys buy a chicken in a can, you know, those are usually about half as high as these cans, but the same circumference. And here onto the green one, I'm adding some of my Distressed Oxide stamp I like the look that it gave it. Still could see the green, but gave it a kind of a, and don't waste your time doing it on the brown and the blue. You can't even tell it, so I didn't do it. I tried it, but it didn't really work. So yeah, I mean, this craft today is super fast. I hope you guys are loving the craft, loving the channel. If you're returning, I so much appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed and you like what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button today. That would help my channel so much. And if you would hit the like button, that would also help my channel to grow. See, there's the blue one. I did put the white wax on it, so it does kind of look like denim right now, which is not very interesting. I like that look of it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comments section. That would be awesome. And we're almost done with this craft already. This craft goes really fast. It really doesn't take much time. Just gathering the items is what you need to do, and then have a seat, and you're done in an hour or so. If you blow dry everything, stuff dries really fast because the paper soaks up the paint. The lid's dried up super fast. And then fill your cans, and you're ready to have a little bit more organization at your craft table, your craft station, which is always good. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll come back soon. Here is the final product. And feel free to change it up in any way that you see fit that will fit your decor. I did grunge up the little tags I put on there. So they are grungier now than they did when I first did them. But I did that with my distressed oxide too, okay? You could also use, instead of fabric, instead of the tea, the coffee stained tea towel that I used, you could use coffee stained like manila folders or name tags. The tags that you can buy at Amazon or Hobby Lobby or anywhere, if you wish to use those kind of for tags. Okay, thank you so much. Please hit the subscribe button, and as always, have a great day.